Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S here, back in another video. This one I thought I'd do in non-list form. I was pondering whether to do it in list form or not, but I thought I'd do it in non-list form this time. Probably should have put a few more lights on. It is a bit cloudy in here, but yeah, I thought, due to my patterns, as it's the 17th, I would talk about some of my imaginations, and while I had the house pretty much to myself, other than the dog, I thought that I would use this peaceful and quiet time to upload a video. So yeah, I haven't really planned it as much, and sometimes a lot of time I do things in list form videos. You probably know why if you see that, if you watch this one, because I jump from point to point or forget my points or whatever. So lists help me to organize, I often say. But yeah, as I say, I was wondering what videos to make and to talk about plans for the future or whatever, but I thought for a bit of fun, as it's Sunday fun day, and as it's the 17th, and for some reason 17 reminded me of imaginations or imaginifs or whatnot, I thought I'd discuss some of my dreams or imaginations, and I thought I'd focus on the Dyslexic Billionaires United company, which I was talking about, which to me is quite an exciting idea or name. I don't know if other people agree. As ever, I'd love to hear your comments in the comments section. I've said I remember making a few videos for Juventus, but for the youth team or whatever, and or a few videos that I made for kids and or targeted for families or kids or whatever, like the Juventus mascot or whatever, and ideas about that. But I said if people could mention could comment in the comment section, forgetting that you're not able to comment in those videos. But anyway. Sorry, I'm waffling, I know. But yeah, I thought instead of doing a list form, I would do something a bit different. I was thinking about doing a list form just to help me to organize my thoughts, and certain numbers remind me of certain things and whatever. But anyway, so one imagination I have, first of all, is obviously for the group or whatever you want to call it, the network, the team, the brand, brainstorm, collaborative, collective, whatever you want to call it, to get started. And I suppose the easiest way to explain the process is if to be a member, as I mentioned in my list video that I made for this, you would have to be both dyslexic and a billionaire. Like, they could be shareholders or investors or people who are not billionaires and or not dyslexic, but to be a full member, except for myself as the founder, perhaps maybe even I wouldn't be a full member, but well, another imagination I have, though, obviously, as well as getting started, is to own 10% of the to have 10% of the shares or the equity even of the company. So I hope you can see me clearly enough. So I think that would be quite interesting, and I would love for the team or whatever, group or whatever you call it again, to invest in or even donate to former colonies, or what I call the six, especially like say basically for the six generally, especially for people with dyslexia in those places, for people from Africa, indigenous people or people of color from Africa, also the same for Australasia, also the same for the Americas and Asia, and in terms of Latin America, just Latin America generally, and basically emerging markets as well, which will probably have some advantages it will probably be a mutual benefit anyway, because obviously those are emerging markets as they are growing, and they are probably the only places now with growth, funny enough, like parts of Africa and whatnot, but also hopefully it'll benefit the people in those countries and do a lot of good as well. And another imagination I have would be, or is rather, that Italian football would be like $1 trillion or even £1 trillion league, or maybe including all the different leagues like Serie A, Serie B, Serie C, Serie D, and whatever other leagues there are in Italy, and also Celtic to be £1 billion, if not £1 trillion team, which would be hard to really imagine. But yeah, if I could donate my 20% of my share to each of those things, it could go some way towards that goal, which would be quite a coincidence, perhaps, if that's the right word, or an irony or whatever, if I'm using the word correctly. But yeah, so I'd love for the group, I'm going to call it, to make some positive impacts on the world. It would also be part of a wider sort of network thing where M.K.S, my initials, of course, as the name of the channel is, M.K.S B.N.I.s, which stands for Business Networks International. I know there is already a Business Networks International, but so I don't know if I can use that name, but whatever, it might have to be under a different name. But basically, to make networks possibly meet up every month, or at least, or maybe even every week, or possibly at least every fortnight, preferably every week. I suppose if there are many of them, it would probably be hard to. But then, obviously, I probably won't be able to attend all those meetings, but myself. But they could still meet between people. So it's basically for people who have things in common. Like there could be the ADHD Billionaires United, the African Billionaires United, Asian Billionaires United, or whatnot. So there could be lots of different groups like that, as well as like I say, ADHD Billionaires United or Asperger's Billionaires United, or different groups like that meet up once a week and pool their money and other such resources, including networks, together and things like that. Lost my train of thought, sorry. But yeah, so it'd be part of the wider network of Billionaires United groups, or even Millionaires United groups as well, or what I call Billionaires United, which obviously Millionaires and Billionaires United, and maybe there could be like different networks like Millionaires and Billionaires, Dyslexic Millionaires and Billionaires United and stuff like that. So yeah, I know these are some of my quirky ideas, talking about using my imagination. Maybe I'm being rather naive and foolish, but these are some of my thoughts that I thought I would share, for better or worse. I'm not sure if it's wise for me to share, but yeah, they could be like, say, like the Indian Billionaires United or whatever. So they're building their networks and things like that. And I used to dream about all these ideas and making lots of money. And I used to have a little silly joke with myself, which I haven't really shared before, but I probably wrote it down somewhere, but I haven't really shared with anyone. But which is, I sometimes call them Billionaires, because it used to make me stay up all night dreaming about making money and all that sort of thing. Or that was part of me staying up all night and dreaming about making money. So I used to call them Billionaires because I used to say they make me ill thinking about, or the idea made me ill because I was dreaming too much about making money. But nowadays I'm more into philanthropy. Anyway, sorry if I'm waffling on, going off on things that don't make much sense to other people, but because my mind works so differently. But I hope I'm making some sense anyway, or as much sense as possible. But yeah, so I thought, as I say, this could be part of wider networks, not just for wealthy people. There could be networks for all sorts of groups of people who have things in common. Some of them could be social networks. Some could be romance or dating, which would be quite ironic because I'm not into romance. I'm aromantic myself. I don't know if I'd make any networks about weddings or marriages because I'm not into those sorts of things. But maybe if I monetize them and then could donate more of the money to the causes I support, like Italian football from a selfish point of view, and Celtic, as well as like my political goals, but also for philanthropy and things like that, especially for former colonies. And also this would also be part of a wider network for dyslexic people. It could be like dyslexic people in similar areas. For instance, dyslexic people involved in storytelling or films, making movies together, films or movies, whichever term you prefer. So dyslexic producers, directors, actors, actresses, special effects teams like WETA, WETA. I think they do special effects for films, and one of the founders of that is dyslexic. I'm not sure if they have many founders, but Richard Taylor is dyslexic. So I think that's from New Zealand, but they worked on things like Lord of the Rings, and also like Steven Spielberg and Steve McQueen, who's also a Black British director, but he's dyslexic as well. And so if they network together, like dyslexic people involved in films, I discussed that idea with one of my sisters, and she said, don't they have their different styles? So couldn't that be a problem where they have different styles? But I think that it would be maybe they could feed ideas of each other, and sort of their films could incorporate each other's styles or each other's ideas. But yeah, dyslexic actresses like Keira Knightley or people like that, or Zoe Wanamaker or people like that, and dyslexic actors like Orlando Bloom and others. I can't remember the name of that many, but yeah, I'm sure there are many, but I forget the names or whatnot. But yeah, they could network together in terms of making films, movies, or whatever you call them. So yeah, this could be a part of a wide network like that, and maybe even ironically, dyslexic authors. Believe it or not, there's even dyslexic authors, which is an area where you probably wouldn't think dyslexic people would get into, but they could network together in terms of like illustrators or artists or people that basically in the same sort of area but who also have dyslexia in common. So that could hopefully help them to network, which would make dyslexia real. Some people say it is a positive thing or an advantage if it's used in the right way, because we have a different, unique perspective on things and our own ideas and whatnot, out of the box thinking and that sort of thing. Most certainly with me anyway. But yeah, it would be even more of an advantage, or it would certainly become an advantage if you like, because you can network with each other and use the fact that you have dyslexia in common to hopefully network and build bridges and networks between each other. So even up and coming dyslexic producers and directors or actors and actresses or anyone who wants to get involved in films could network with their fellow dyslexics in those fields, as well as I say, it could be in all sorts of different fields. And again, people with ADHD, autism, Asperger's, or people of Indian heritage or Asian heritage generally, or other such backgrounds. So people with things in common, especially in the same sort of fields, or even people possibly in different fields, but that could combine those fields. For instance, I don't know, a dyslexic producers or directors could make films based on on famous dyslexics, for instance, or on dyslexic success stories, or even on dyslexic billionaires or things like that. So yeah, by collaborating, so even in different industries, they could network together. So anyway, I think I've waffled enough. I don't want the video to be too long, but as ever, I'd love to know what you think about my quirky ideas. And yeah, I am out. Peace and love.